Tiny homes already save money, but if you really want to stretch your dollars, these 5 simple upgrades can help you live cheaper, smarter, and more self-reliant. Let me show you what I'm doing at my place. Hey y'all, I'm Kevin, but most folks call me Pawpaw. I built my tiny home to help save money for retirement, and now I'm on a mission to help other folks do the same thing. Today I'm sharing 5 ways I'm cutting my utility bills and making our little home more sustainable. These are real projects. Some I've done and others I'm in the middle of doing or I'm planning to do. Let's jump in. First up, heating and cooling. One of the best things you can add to a tiny home is a hybrid mini split system. These little units work as an air conditioner and a heater, and some models run on both AC, the grid power, and DC solar panels. The one I've got my eye on is the EG4 Solar Mini Split AC, and let me tell you, this thing is impressive. It's one of the most innovative ductless heat pump systems available today. What makes it stand out is its ability to plug directly into solar panels without needing an inverter, a battery, or a charge controller. That means during the daytime, it runs 100% off solar power. Then at night, or on cloudy days, it can switch right over to the electric grid. Now here's the best part. It's designed to be a DIY install with what they call plug and cool technology. What that means is it comes with everything that you need. The indoor head unit, the outdoor unit, like mine here, and a 16-foot pre-charged line. It's got the wiring, the remotes, everything you need. There's no vacuum pump or fancy tools required, just quick connect valves and the MC4 solar connectors. Even a fellow like me can get it installed. It's compact, it's efficient, and perfect for a small space like a tiny home or a shed-to-house conversion. You can even limit the amount of grid power it draws with like a built-in limiter it has. That's the unit I plan to install for my home one day. And when I do, you better believe I'll bring y'all along for the install. I mean, currently I have this little mini split here, and it's a DIY model too, and we've been really happy with it. We've been using it for about 3 years now. But we need a little more. We want to add another one for our bedroom, which is at the end of the house here. And as you see, we get plenty of good sun out here. I think I'm going to come right in here in this area of my garden. I don't want to get on top of my blueberry bushes, but I think I can catch that sun here and should be able to run a second unit. And I want to install that AC/DC unit because I really think it's going to save us a lot of money in the long run. Plus, I like the idea of having a backup power source. In other words, if the power was to go down and you had one of these AC/DC mini splits, at least you could run air conditioning in the middle of the summer. And that could be a lifesaver. Next up is rainwater collection. If you live in a place where it's allowed, this is one of the easiest ways to cut costs and be a little more self-sufficient. Right now, I'm out here next to my little tool shed. It's nothing fancy, just a simple shed with a sloped metal roof. But that roof has a job to do. I'm planning to add a gutter along this side to catch the rainwater and funnel it into a barrel. And instead of buying an expensive system, I'm thinking about doing what a lot of DIY folks do, is cutting a piece of big PVC pipe in half lengthwise and using it as a makeshift gutter. I'm gonna mount it with a few brackets and boom, you've got a working system for less than 20 bucks. I've seen some folks take it even further, adding a bit of mesh to keep leaves out or using a basic first flush diverter, they call them. But if they plan to use the water inside, they would want to do that. I'm not going that far just yet, but I'll start simple and build from there. Once I've got that barrel set up at the corner, I'll use the water for our garden, which is just right here, potted plants, cleaning tools, maybe even rinsing off my muddy boots or the lawn mower. It just makes sense why I pay for water when you literally have it falling from the sky. Here's the math that made this click for me. Our monthly water bill is about $75 to $80, but even if you never fully disconnect, the minimum charge to stay connected is about $30. So if I can replace enough of our usage with rainwater, especially during spring and summer, I could save $45 to $50 every single month. That's over $500 a year from one small little DIY project using scrap PVC and a $30 barrel. And we're just getting started. This kind of setup could be expanded later to supply filtered water for flushing the toilet or even running your laundry. But for now, I'm focusing on getting the basics in place and sharing every step with y'all as I go. Now, some areas do have local laws about collecting rainwater, so make sure to check that your local rules apply, okay? Here in our neck of the woods, we're allowed to collect all we want, and I plan to take full advantage of that. Hey, if you enjoy my videos and want simple tips like this each week, join my newsletter. It's free and I'll link it in the description below. Now let's go on to talk about some simple solar lighting. Since I'm already out here at the shed, let's talk about something else that I've been working on: solar lighting. This is one of the easiest weekend upgrades that you can make, and it saves money every single month. I picked up this little solar light for the shed, paid under 30 bucks for it. During the day, it charges from the sun, and once the sun goes down, it automatically kicks on. No wiring, no electrician, no monthly electric bill, just a reliable light right here where I need it. If you've got an outbuilding, a barn, or any hard to reach spot where running electrical would be a hassle or just expensive, solar is the way to go. These lights are especially helpful if you're trying to build out your property one piece at a time like we are. And it's not just for sheds. Let me show you something else. So here's the little lights. There's two of them. There's two little pendant lights that hang, and then you stretch your wires out. And I'm going to be mounting this solar panel out here in the sun. And I've got two of these little pendant lights that will connect and go here under my shed. And another cool little feature that it has is it actually comes with a little remote, and I'm planning on hanging it right here inside out of the weather, where I can walk up and just hit the on button and have free lights out here in my shed. Once I get that installed, I'll be sure to show you guys, and we'll see how it works out at night. And these solar lights aren't just for sheds, of course. Let me show you something else. I also picked up these little solar lights for our privacy fence posts. I haven't installed them yet, but they're going to be great for adding a little light and security to our backyard. Now these are small ones, and they're probably more decorative than anything. I don't know how much light they'll provide. We'll have to see. But if nothing else, they'll provide a little bit of light on the footpath and give a little class to join up a little bit, right? I haven't installed them yet, but they're going to be great for adding a little light and security to our backyard without raising the power bill. What I like about this approach is it's affordable, it's flexible, and it works whether you're on-grid or off-grid. You don't need a big, fancy solar system to start saving energy. You can start with one little light and grow from there. If you're trying to light a chicken coop or a walkway or even like a front porch, this is a quick win that you can knock out in under an hour. I'll be installing one on the shed here real soon, so if you want to see how that turns out, make sure that you're subscribed and following along with me. Okay, my tip number 4 is to use passive heating and cooling tricks. This one's all about working smarter, not harder. Passive heating and cooling means you're using natural methods and a little creative thinking to help regulate your home's temperature without constantly relying on your HVAC system. In a tiny home, every degree counts, and a few smart upgrades can make a big difference. Let me give you an example from our place. The morning sun rises directly against the end of our building, and it used to heat up that wall super fast. So when we were insulating, I added an extra layer on that other side of this wall. First, I used strips of foam board insulation to create a small air gap which acts as a buffer, and then I layered Reflectix bubble insulation over that before installing my regular R13 roll insulation. That combination has made a noticeable difference. It slows down the heat transfer and keeps the whole end of the house here cooler during those early morning hours when the sun's really beating down. Now on the other end of the house, where the afternoon sun sets and just beats down, we were lucky enough to have the porch already there, which helps a lot. But I've got plans to take it a step further by adding a roll-up porch shade. Those will block out the harshest rays, especially in the summer, and help keep the house shaded and cool through the hottest part of the day. Other simple upgrades that work well include Thermal curtains, reflective window film, and strategic ventilation like cracking a window on the shaded side of the house while using a fan to pull warm air out. We've already noticed a difference just from adding the thermal curtains that we did. They help trap the heat in the winter and they block out a lot of the heat in the summer. The beauty of these passive tricks is that they don't require electricity, and once you set them up, they just work. It's not about being fancy, it's about being smart with what you've got. So tip number 5 would be go low energy with appliances and solar kits. Okay, this is the last one, guys. Choose low wattage appliances and start small with solar. You don't have to go all in on a full home solar system right away. In fact, that's one of the biggest misconceptions that keep people from even trying to do solar. The truth is you can start with small, affordable solar projects that lower your energy bill and move you closer to a more self-sustained life. Simple upgrades like switching to a tinier fridge or using an induction cooktop or replacing your bulbs with LED bulbs, that can dramatically cut down your energy usage. That means if you do add solar later, you won't need as big or as expensive a system to support your needs. Right now, I'm working on a beginner-friendly solar setup for our tiny house, and I'm starting small on purpose. One of my goals is to build a mini solar system just for our refrigerator and freezer. Think about that, if the power goes out, we'd still have food security. It also gives me a hands-on learning opportunity to understand how much power we use, how storage batteries and stuff works, and how to make smarter energy choices in the future. Projects like that are perfect stepping stones. They teach you the basics of solar, like wiring and charging and energy storage, without requiring a huge investment or in some areas a permit, and they solve a specific problem, which makes them way more motivating than just tossing panels on your roof and hoping for the best. Over time, these small wins will add up. You gain confidence, you save money, and slowly you build a system that fits your actual needs, not what some slick salesman at some solar place tells you you need. If you're curious about solar but don't know where to start, stick around, because I'm going to be sharing everything that I learned with you as I go and showing you what works for us in real life. So there you go, 5 ways to make your tiny home even more budget friendly. A hybrid mini split, rainwater collection, solar lighting, passive climate tricks, and low energy appliances and small solar projects. Remember, it's not about going completely off grid overnight. It's about making smart choices that lower your bills and give you a little more control. Thanks for stopping by, neighbor. See y'all next time.